Hi, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. The topic we're going to discuss is a very important one. My husband's feelings for me have changed. And this can be very hurtful. Women are not quite the same as men, as you know. Women feel things at a much deeper level. But this is a double-edged sword. You might be feeling things that are not exactly what they are, but we're going to cover this topic in a way that helps you where it counts. We're not a group of psychotherapists who look for problems and analyze them, unravel them, and say, okay, this is it, your husband is this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. It's not important. What is important, think about this, what is important is for your marriage to improve. Not just now, as we take a look at this problem that you're having, but your marriage should be literally improving every single day. And what does that mean? We say that, but what it means is you're feeling deeper, greater, more expansive love for your husband, and he's reciprocating every single day. And this is why you got married. You're feeling more happiness every day. You get married, we all get married to be happy. But we don't treat it like something, our marriage, we don't treat it like something we need to do anything to get that happiness, to cultivate that love. We don't do anything. We literally get married as if it's a ride at a theme park. We get married, we say I do, and we're off to the races, but we don't move. And what happens is all the negativity of the world starts creeping in, all the temptations. Worse is that we treat our marriage the way we treat everything else in the world. And your marriage is not supposed to be treated like everything else in the world. Your marriage is a very unique proposition. It is a venue that surpasses all other venues in its ability to deliver happiness and love. And so if your husband's feelings for you are changing now, and they have changed, and you know they have, you need to be able to change the dynamic, the very dynamic of your marriage. You're not able to just focus on that, oh dear, what are we going to do? Your feelings for me have changed. That's not going to do anything positive. It may cause him to start thinking, maybe she's right, I wonder why. When really what should be happening is you should be pouring your heart's love into your husband, into your marriage. You should be walking around with a smile on your face, so he's getting that you are a joy-filled person, and that rubs off. Those are the things you can do about this. Now, it's not the end of the road. Let me be really clear about this. We get thousands upon thousands of people who sign up for our courses, men and women, and most of them think it's the end of the road. And it isn't. Now, it would be, and they're fortunate that they've signed up for the course, it would be if they continue operating in their marriage and operating their marriage as they have been. We are not properly educated about marriage, are we? We learn about who sailed around the world. You know, we talk about Magellan, and we talk about Cook, and we talk about some of the great presidents, Lincoln, and we talk about some of the great prime ministers like Churchill, and we talk about, well, we don't talk about Gandhi, we should, but what we really don't talk about in school, what we are not educated about in school, is we're not educated about two super important things. First, We're not taught that we should learn how to manage our minds. And if you cannot manage your mind, I can tell you right now, you're not going to gain the benefits of the marriage that I have been describing, one that's filled with joy and happiness and love. You won't. We need to learn how to manage our minds. And it's in my books, it's also the very first thing we talk about in the courses, because it's critical. You know already you need to make some changes, right? I mean, obviously, if you just keep going the way you're going, you're going to head for a divorce. So you know you have to make changes. But to make changes means you have to learn how to control your mind. Otherwise, all of your habits and instinctive reactions will continue to control you. You'll continue to argue, you'll continue to fight, and there should be no arguments and no fighting in your marriage at all. None, none, none. You have to learn how to master your mind. So this is very important, but we don't learn that in school. We don't learn about that growing up. We will in the future, I guarantee it. Maybe not in our lifetime. Well, you may be a lot younger than me, but not even in your lifetime. But we will have to learn how to master our minds. It's just common sense. The other thing is we don't learn about marriage. We don't learn about love. You know, if you were to look up love right now, if you were to Google it or pull out a dictionary, do you have a dictionary in your house? You would find that it says that love is an increased like. It's an emotion. And you know better than that, don't you? When you got married, do you remember taking your vows and that overwhelming, amazing feeling that you had where your heart just burst with love? Your mind doesn't like that, believe it or not, because you are not your mind. You have a mind, you're a soul. But the soul, which is you, what you are, which is why you have a soulmate, is all about love. You got married for love, probably. And what's happened to that? Your marriage has become so mundane, so run-of-the-mill. It's not going to change unless you change it. It is on you to change it. And you can't ask your husband to change it. This is, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation about marriage because we never learned about marriage. We never have had group discussions. We never talked to each other about, well, what is love? How do you cultivate love? How do you cultivate devotion? How do you make yourself more attractive to your husband? I'm not talking about putting on makeup. What do you think is more important to your husband? That you're walking around all day with a smile on your face and that you're kind and loving to him? Or that you have just the right eyeshadow? What do you think is more important to him? Right? Rhetorical question. But so many people, because we live in this crazy world, don't understand. So we don't learn about marriage. We don't learn about mastering our minds. And these are important. So your husband's feelings for you have changed. Now you want them to change again. You want to be able for him to experience love like he thought he was going to experience when he married you. Remember how you were when you were dating, when you were courting? Remember how lovingly you treated him? Remember how you were so respectful and supportive you would never criticize him? Can you imagine going out on a first date and criticizing the guy you're going out with? Be your last date. And so you don't criticize him. That's good behavior because it's very considerate. It's acknowledging his feelings. It's owning your responsibility to treat him in a way that will allow him to see the real you. The real you is a soul filled with love and joy. So don't be discouraged by this, but let it serve as a wake-up call. Let it serve as a wake-up call that you have things you now need to do in your marriage with and for your husband, for and with yourself, to change it again into a very positive thing. I really appreciate your visiting. I hope you're a subscriber. We're getting more and more. We have almost 22,000 subscribers as I'm doing this video. It's kind of cool. When I started this, I knew we were so different because I'm not a psychologist. I used to be a divorce mediator. You know, I hope people would recognize what we have to offer. And slowly we're gaining traction. I mean, it's taken 20 years. It's not like we're an overnight success, but we are very well recognized now. And hopefully you will recognize it so you can have what those who are subscribers, who take our course, who read the books have, which is a marriage that is what it's meant to be, marital bliss. Thank you for visiting. Again, I'm Paul Friedman. Like the video, leave a comment if you wish, but God bless you and take care. Thank you.